we've heard the kind of the Buck side of it. We've heard the Jericho side of it. We've had the leaks of Jericho calling him a cancer. Who's the one side that you've really never heard a whole lot from?
Well, there have been things come out from Punk's camp.
Have we heard from him himself?
We're going to get to that. In fact, did you see on Instagram, he posted a picture of his dog, Larry?
I don't follow him on Instagram. No.
Okay. So he posted a picture of his dog, Larry, who apparently has some teeth missing. And this goes back to the news story that Nick Hausman of Wrestling Inc. reported a few weeks ago, saying that the reason why Punk attacked the Elite was because when they stormed in, they hit the dog and it caused damage to Larry's mouth and eventually had to get his teeth removed. So this picture seems like that story holds water. It doesn't say whether or not that's what happened to his teeth. It didn't, like, there's no context of what happened at Brawl. It's just a picture of the teeth. But seeing the picture, do you think that this story now holds water, as maybe Punk actually has some validity to this story? Maybe he did have a reason to go after the Elite after what happened with the dog or whatever. And maybe we need to hear both sides of the story a little bit more before we make a decision on this.
Yeah. It could definitely hold water, but just the same way, this could be... Have you ever seen Karate Kid 3? I know you didn't watch those movies too much, but...
I mean, I'm sure I have in the past.
You got Kreese, who is the guy that was on AEW, right?
Yeah,
So he's on the phone with the guy Silver, and they're trying to think of a way where they can get their revenge on Daniel LaRusso and Mr. Miyagi. And he says to him, make his knuckles bleed. And Silver manipulates him. He makes him think he's his new sensei. He's going to help him. In reality, he's actually working him the whole time. Mm-hmm. It's a whole big ruse, so to speak. So yeah, this whole thing could be true. It could be some big elaborate work where conveniently the dog needed to get some teeth pulled. And you know what? Let's just work him a little bit more. And if it's a work, like I said, it's a really, really, really good work and well thought out work. I couldn't put that past CM Punk or anybody else involved to do that, you know, because for one thing, we've seen, like I said, with anything or most things that CM Punk has been involved with in AEW, that's been the really good stuff. Mm-hmm. Now, what I was going to say before is we've heard a lot of rumors, most of it negative about Punk, most of it making it seem like he's the villain in all of this. We've obviously seen on BTE, you know, the FCM Punk chants, some suggestive things like the buckshot lariat, the biting in the match, like all those types of things, right? WWE doesn't take a whole lot of shots at AEW. AEW,
that's also debatable.
Not as many shots by comparison. Yes, you're gonna, oh well, you know, Triple H said piss it. Yeah, he said that, but almost weekly or every other week, you're gonna get some type of subtle shot at WWE for on an AEW show. That's fine, whatever. I'm not debating that. But what better way for WWE to get even or to get the pendulum back swinging in their direction to get, Punk, you know what? Come on back. Tell your side of the story. Tell it on Raw. Tell it on a pay-per-view. And to let him go off. People want to hear it. I'm sure people want to hear CM Punk's side of it.
Yep. Well, we know it's definitely never going to happen on the Colt Cabana podcast, but maybe we do have an update on the status of CM Punk, because Stokely Hathaway was recently on Renee Paquette's podcast, and Hathaway was talking about what the plans were supposed to be for the firm after All Out. And apparently the firm were supposed to feud with CM Punk, but CM Punk is, quote, no longer with AEW. Are we working ourselves into a shoot, or are we shooting ourselves into a work?
Oh man. Does anybody care about that? Would anybody want to see the firm feud with CM? Who's he going to feud with? Moriarty? Come on. What are we talking about here? What a waste. Well, I'm not talking about this.
It kind of seemed like they did that storyline anyway, but with Moxley instead of Punk in that role. Because they still did like the firm and MJF dynamic in the Moxley storyline, but it probably would have been a little bit more deeper had CM Punk still be champion and not get hurt or whatever happened with All Out. But instead they did this, and now the firm weren't even affected at all at All Out. They weren't even there.
Exactly what I was going to say. And they haven't even really revisited that or I don't know if you
Well,
want to
Ethan
say
Page did say he was going to go after MJF when he wins the Diamond Ring Battle Royal, which
right.
the winner of that faces MJF to win the Dynamite ring. So we'll see how that goes. But that would essentially be some kind of follow-up to it, if you want to call it that.
I don't know. I wouldn't put too much stock in Stokely just coming out and loosely saying, "Oh yeah, CM Punk's gone," you know? But
I mean, to say someone that works in AEW is saying CM Punk is no longer in AEW, kind of like the first we really got of like some form of confirmation on it. But again, until AEW makes a statement saying he's gone or Punk goes somewhere else and never comes back, I won't believe a damn thing from a podcast or a dirt sheet or whatever. I just
not
won't.
even ours.
Not even our.
Don't trust us.
Nope. Don't do it. Don't do it. Sorry, guys.